So picture this. It's 2017, and suddenly something comes whipping through our solar system. It's moving so fast and on such a bizarre path that we know for a fact it's not from around here. But here's the kicker. What was it? And why did it look like it was, well, steering itself? For a hot minute, even the most serious scientists on the planet had to ask a question that sounds like science fiction. Did we just get a visit from an alien probe?
All right, let's get into it. You know, for every strange blip on a screen or weird object we spot out in the cosmos, there's always a wild theory that pops up, right? But what's the real story behind these things? Well, today, we're going to put on our cosmic detective hats. We're going to try to solve some of space's biggest, most disturbing mysteries. Everything from alien megastructures to, phantom satellites.
So let's kick things off with that visitor I just mentioned. Back in October 2017, astronomers confirmed it. We had spotted our very first object from another star system. They gave it this really cool name, Oumuamua. It's Hawaiian for messenger from afar. And let me tell you, it absolutely lived up to that name, because this thing brought with it one heck of a mystery.
Okay, first things first. Its shape was just weird. I mean, think about asteroids, right? They're usually these lumpy, potato-shaped rocks tumbling through space. But all the data we got on Oumuamua pointed to something totally different. We're talking something wildly stretched out, either like a super long cigar or a really thin, flat pancake. You don't really see shapes like that in nature. And believe it or not, that wasn't even the strangest part.
Yeah, the real head-scratcher came when it was on its way out. After Oumuamua whipped around our sun, it started to speed up. Think about that. It was accelerating away from us, and it was being pushed by some force that gravity just couldn't account for. It was almost like somebody flipped a switch and turned on an engine.
Okay, now to be fair, we do see things accelerate in space. It's not unheard of. Comets, they do it constantly. As a comet gets close to the sun, all that heat starts vaporizing its ice, which then shoots out as jets of gas and dust. That's what creates that gorgeous, visible tail we see. And it basically acts like a natural rocket engine, giving the comet a little push. Pretty straightforward, right?
Well, here's the massive problem. The difference here is night and day. Comets have those big, bright, unmissable tails. Astronomers pointed every telescope they could at Oumuamua. And you know what they saw? Absolutely nothing. No gas, no dust, not a hint of a tail. It was just this dark, dry object that was somehow pushing itself.
So let's recap. You've got this object with a shape that just doesn't look natural, and it's got some kind of engine that we can't see. So, of course, the speculation just went wild. Could it actually be a piece of alien tech? You know, a probe they sent to get a quick look at us. It got so serious that projects like Breakthrough Listen aimed these huge radio telescopes right at it, just listening, hoping for a signal. All they got was silence. But that didn't make the question go away.
And then, just in 2023, a really brilliant explanation came out. Scientists figured that Oumuamua was probably a dark comet. The idea is that for millions of years, as it drifted through interstellar space, cosmic rays zapped it, trapping pure hydrogen gas inside its water ice. So when it got close to our sun, the heat cooked that hydrogen right out. And here's the key. Hydrogen gas is invisible, so it created this powerful, totally transparent rocket engine. The messenger from afar turned out to be a natural phenomenon after all, a really, really cool one.
But hey, Oumuamua wasn't the only time something out there completely stumped scientists and got everybody talking about aliens. Our next mystery isn't about something just passing by. It's about a star almost 1,500 light years away that started acting so bizarrely, so erratically, that astronomers literally nicknamed it the WTF star. Why? Because it was dimming in a way that nobody had ever seen before.
And when I say dimming, I really want you to understand, we're not talking about a little flicker. At its most extreme, the light coming from Tabby's star plunged by a staggering 22%. To give you some perspective on that, whatever was blocking the light had to be absolutely enormous. There was no way this was just a planet.
Just to really drive home how insane this is, think about Jupiter. It's the biggest planet in our solar system, a total giant. If it passed in front of our sun, it would only block about 1% of the light. Tabby's star was seeing a dip more than 20 times bigger than that. And it wasn't regular, like a normal orbit. It was happening at these totally random, unpredictable times.
The whole pattern was just so weird, it didn't look natural at all. It looked less like an orbit and more like, well, like a construction project. And that led to this mind-blowing theory. Maybe, just maybe, we were watching an advanced alien civilization building a Dyson swarm, a massive megastructure of solar collectors designed to capture every last drop of their star's energy, and in the process, slowly blocking out its light.
But the real answer was actually hidden in the starlight itself. See, scientists noticed that blue light from the star was being blocked more than red light. Now, a solid object, like a giant alien megastructure, would block all colors of light equally. The fact that it didn't meant that whatever was in the way had to be semi-transparent. So the answer wasn't some incredible alien machine. It was a massive, clumpy, uneven cloud of superfine dust. Basically, it was acting like a giant, dirty window in space, blocking the star's light in weird, random patches.
Okay, so from mysterious stars hundreds of light years away, let's bring it back home, right here, to a legend that's been orbiting our own planet for decades. I'm talking about the story of the Black Knight satellite, a supposed alien probe that has been watching us, they say, for 13,000 years, long before we ever knew how to launch a rocket.
Now, this whole legend didn't just pop up overnight. It's more like it was cobbled together over an entire century from a bunch of totally separate, unrelated events. You know, it starts way back in 1899 with Nikola Tesla saying he picked up these rhythmic signals from space. Fast forward to the 1950s, right in the middle of the Cold War, and suddenly there's a report of a dark object in orbit. Then in the 70s, a writer claims some old radio echoes actually form a star map. And the cherry on top, this really convincing photo taken by the space shuttle in 1998. But here's the thing. Once you start looking at each piece of evidence on its own, the whole story just completely falls apart. Those signals Tesla heard? Almost certainly pulsars, these rapidly spinning stars we just hadn't discovered yet. That star map? The guy who came up with it, Duncan Lunan, later admitted he made a mistake and took it all back. And that mysterious dark object from the Cold War? Turned out to be nothing more than a lost piece of a US Air Force satellite. But what about that photo? That's the smoking gun, right?
You're not going to believe this. It was a thermal blanket. Seriously. An astronaut was on a spacewalk, accidentally dropped it, and it just floated away. So the single most compelling piece of evidence for an ancient alien spy satellite was actually just a piece of space junk. Lost trash.
Okay, so we've had some fun debunking these myths, but I want to leave you with one final mystery. And this one is 100% real, and frankly, it's a lot scarier. It's not about the strange things we've seen out there. It's about what we haven't seen. I'm talking about near-Earth objects, NEOs for short. Basically, asteroids that can sneak right past us, totally undetected.
And you need to know, this happens way more often than you'd think. Back in 1989, a pretty big asteroid flew right past Earth, and we only spotted it after it had already gone by. In 2008, we found one just 20 hours before it slammed into the atmosphere over Sudan. And of course, the big one, the 65-foot Chelyabinsk meteor that exploded over Russia in 2013, injuring hundreds? No one, and I mean no one, saw it coming. These aren't legends or theories. They're documented, real-world close calls, and in some cases, direct hits.
So, you know, it's fun to solve these grand cosmic puzzles about alien probes, giant megastructures. But it's also a pretty powerful reminder that sometimes the most disturbing, the most urgent mysteries, they aren't about the bizarre things we can see. They're about the dangerous things we can't. The biggest mystery of all might just be what's still out there, hiding in the dark, waiting for us to find it, hopefully before it finds us.